improv class together. He's a tall, red-haired man from Ireland. He's kind of like that character on that show American Gods. You don't watch American Gods, do you?
I don't know.
He looks like that guy.
Well, I know Jake and Sean. They're here. Jake came to a party of mine and brought an enormous bottle of vodka.
Nice. That sounds like the kind of person you want to bring to a party.
Yeah.
I salute you, Jake. I also know my good friend Chris. We did a melodrama together.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, out in Colorado, where we also did other things together.
What?
We did other things together.
I did not know.
I don't mean sex, I meant weed.
Oh, okay, great.
I was just trying to be coy.
Also, Victoria's here from Loop Troop. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fan of the Loop Troop in the audience. Woo! Oh, Jake, thanks for coming out. I know that you're without that beautiful bottle. We can go full throttle. We'll go halfway, cause the drinks are okay.
All I can tell you how much I wish I was also as Irish as you are with your red hair and your lack of hay care. You enter a room with a charisma that can't be matched. And that's just that. Welcome to the Cheep show. Whoa. Chris, I like your mama as much as I like doing melodrama. Out in Colorado, in an elevation that's way too high though. It's hard to breathe when you're a mile above the sea. Just ask him or me.
I wanna thank friend Victoria for coming to Astoria. My friend Ethan tried to nag on her last time we were hanging out. I want to apologize for that.
Welcome to the Cheep show. Whoa. Your friends and family may doubt you,
But we couldn't do it without you.
so thanks
For choosing us as what you wanna do. Woo!
Welcome to the Cheep show. Whoa. Welcome to the Cheep show. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen him on the QED stage only moments ago, playing the banjo like it was his last chance. Please welcome it back to the stage. It is the one, the only, the Robert Bryant.
Thank you so much, y'all. Some of you might know that the Cheep Show just got back from West Palm Beach, Florida. That's right, we were invited to do a workshop and a show down there. That means 90 minutes of Cheep Show fun, plus 2 3-hour workshops, one on starting stand-up and one on Shakespeare and rap and musical improv. So I taught a 70-year-old lady how to freestyle rap. And she destroyed me. Very good. My name is Robert, and I have 2 fat parents, so it's only a matter of time. But what do you expect? I come from Houston, America's swamp crotch. If you don't know what swamp crotch is, it's what happened at 3 p.m. today. Houston was named America's fattest city in 2012. Let's hear it for West Palm Beach! Yeah! A little bit nicer than Houston. Houston is the 4th largest city in America with the 1st largest people. There are more restaurants per capita. That means more Chick-fil-A's and Dairy Queens per person than any other city. We're talking okay, so there's 2 million people, 11,000 restaurants, about 200 per restaurant, and a Whataburger usually seats 86. You could feed the whole city in an hour if they weren't so racist. I'm not sitting next to a Nigerian. You have any idea what they do in that country? country? I don't, because I'm ignorant. No one taught me about Africa except that one project, and I did mine on Namibia, so I know a little bit about Namibia, but not much about the rest of the continent. Like I was saying, there are people to be feared. I'll take my honey butter chicken biscuits to go. I have an uncle that talks like that. Not really. So my brother and I are both very skinny, but my parents are fat. But my grandpa is also skinny. But he had polio, so we don't know if it's polio skinny or natural skinny. Grandpa's a real great guy. He had to move from San Antonio to Houston, and they had to do it lying down because his body doesn't work the way it should. But they couldn't afford an ambulance, so they took a hearse. And it just rolled back the curtains, and he waved at people as he was. That's a true story. He lived to be 74 years old and have 4 children, because polio, it works that way. And he had an electric wheelchair, and he didn't have a lot of motor control in his right hand. So it was just sort of a Pac-Man joystick. And I was only 4, but I got a high score every time. The high score is putting a dent in the sideboard. Yeah. Houston used to be the capital of Texas. A lot of people don't know that. Now it's Austin. They had to move it because of the mosquitoes, and that's also a true fact. So a lot of people think the worst thing about Houston is the mosquitoes, but all those injections are non-lethal. Yeah, the death penalty does exist in Texas, but we led the nation in lethal injection in 1982. Florida was still killing people with the chair until 1990, when they botched 3 of them, like in the Green Mile. Let's hear it for Florida! Houston's pretty terrible. You don't even have to kill people in Houston. They'll just eat Bluebell ice cream until they're dead. Well, of course it has listeria in it. It's homemade vanilla. It's local Bluebell humor. Some people died, but they kept eating the ice cream. It was a matter of loyalty to them. But I live in New York now. I know I have a great apartment because my neighbor doesn't have a doorknob. There was a lot of screaming one night, and marks from a crowbar and a new lock. You don't really get to know your neighbors in New York. Schedules are different, and you don't want to end up making friends with someone that you're later obligated to hate. Like, oh, sweetie, you remember Jill? Oh yeah, that lady we met in the stairway, she was so nice. Well, it turns out she plays accordion every morning. Oh, I hope she chokes and dies in her sleep. If someone does catch you going in or out of your apartment, you're obligated to give a look of terror like, you're not supposed to know where I sleep. This is where I keep my secrets. But I know I'm in a good apartment complex. The person across from me just got moved out. They were a hoarder. And I got to keep the old grimy breathing machine. She won't be needing it anymore. Jill was a sweet woman, but a little too enthusiastic about the accordion. I murdered the lady at the end of that joke. That was what I was going for. Thanks for going on that journey with me. Comedy is a little weird. Sometimes it's like hitting a slot machine and you just get 3 random images. It's just like potato skins, Oklahoma, Darth Vader, and you just have to explore it and see if it means anything. So let's try that right now. I hit a slot machine, 3 crazy images. You're gonna pick your favorite one. You're gonna shout it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Submarine. I heard pig. Wolverine. Submarine. All right, and some cotton candy. Pig, submarine, and cotton candy. Thank you. Captain. I don't know how to tell you this. But the squid has been subdued. What are you talking about? We shot missiles at that thing for hours. What do you mean it's been subdued all of a sudden? Sir, there's a flock of what can only be described as flying swine. Major, I don't know if I believe you. I'm going to have to have a look at the periscope. Sir, that's fine. Go ahead. They came. They really came. After all these years, I never never thought I'd see my parents again. I'm not sure what that means. There's some of you like that, some of you are very confused. But that's cool. All of us are our own unique, immersive experience. Life is never alike again. Thank you. And in fact, if you go through life the second time, you might observe other people's point of view from a new perspective. Try life, it's better the second time. That's my advocacy campaign for suicide. Not suicide prevention, suicide. You're a professional woman. Sometimes you have kids to take care of. Spills are a source of stress for you. You don't want to be dying in the middle of a soccer game. The other mothers would pity you. Best case scenario. Try suicide. Step into the abyss anytime you need, with no fuss or muss. Your husband is kind, but he doesn't deserve your moody temperament. End it while you can. Suicide. Not available in all religions. Side effects may include nausea or loss of life. Ask your local parishioner if suicide is right for you. Every day is a winding road. I'm beginning to think I write jokes different after Colorado. My friends and I went to the Mile High City and got legally stoned. And I'd never done anything like that before. I waited until I was 21 to drink alcohol. Also very true. So we got there, and well, basically they were like, "Let's go to Denver." I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "The flights are cheap. It's halfway between New York and Houston." I was like, "Okay." We arrived the weekend of 420. The city is crawling with what can only be described as white trash. And you get there, it's very easy to find. You go to the dispensary, you prove that you're 21, and you can just have it. And I took my first puff, and then I didn't complete a sentence for 24 hours. The next day we had scheduled a tour of a brewery and a dispensary where they make beer and where they brew the cannabis. They had us on a party bus. I'm talking like 30 people just smoking it, passing it around. I'm way out of my element. Some of these people have dreadlocks. None of these people should have dreadlocks. And I find myself in the middle of Weed Church. The tour guide starts up and she's like, "Well, Colorado legalized marijuana for recreational use in 2012. Yeah, man. Yeah. What I'm talking about." And some of you may know that $40 million every year is given to the public school system. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yes. And some of you may have read, there's a little girl who was having 300 seizures a day, but they found some R4 that was low in THC and high in CBD. They extracted that into an oil, 2 doses daily. The seizures went away. Now that little girl is 6 years old, and she can ride a bike. Fuck yeah, man. If any of you are wondering what it's like to be high, it's kind of like your brain is a computer with really low processing speed. So like you get data input from all 5 senses, but you can only focus on one at a time. It's a very narrow way of thinking. It sounds something like, I smell couch. I am sitting. That was a sound. What does it mean? I remember what it means. That's Brendan's phone. Brendan's getting a text. Who's texting Brendan? Is it his mom? Was I holding something? I spilled it everywhere! I'm sorry, Brendan. Brendan doesn't know. No one yet knows. I'll have to speak in a way that won't alarm him. Brendo! And no one should feel obligated to do drugs. You're not required to try it. Even if it becomes legal in your state, it's just a fad. You can stay away from it. You never need to go near the stuff. No one needed to play Bop It. But that was cool once upon a time. Nobody needed an iPod shuffle. Plenty of people avoided that, and they're fine. Nobody needed to bleach their hair and then spike it in the front. They're not wondering what might have been. If you're wondering what it's like to be high, it's kind of like getting too drunk and enjoying it, but I felt great in the morning. It was a really good week in Denver. My heart rate resting was 45 beats per minute. About 30% of what I consumed was actually food. And I got high enough. You know when you get high enough that you can't confirm that both of your eyes are working. You get high enough that bless you. You get high enough that you try to say the word sandcastle and you end up falling into a pizza. That's how. Here's some of the stuff that I accomplished. Some of the lifelong pursuits I crossed off my list. 1, I sang Amazing Grace in perfect 4-part harmony. It was perfect. 2, I discovered a secret spice between onion powder and kettle corn. I call it Robertian. And 3, on one occasion, I imagined the entirety of a Jeopardy episode step by step. Theme song, camera crane shot, we see Alex, no mustache, hello, it's Jeopardy. We meet the contestants. Alpheus loves to ski, Tammy teaches in Iowa, and Scott loves Dallas. We see the categories. Then we watch Tammy just play the board for the next 15 minutes. Local ad for your bank. A Subway ad that's been happening since 2009. Some Hobby Lobby thing. It's paint that melts into sand that you can build underwater. We come back. Alpheus makes some games just to differentiate himself from Scott. He does not belong here. Tammy gets double Jeopardy. It's about history. And she gets it because she knows who Francis Marion is. You should be applauding. Tammy's been running the board for 3 weeks in a row. She's not even sweating. We find out Final Jeopardy's going to be about opera. Scott looks excited. There's a new kind of windy spokesperson, and she knows what she wants. Disney on Ice will be here in April. Jamaica's beautiful. We wish we were there. And take your scrap metal to C&D Scrap Metal, where we pay you in $2 bills. Or else. Chainsaw! We get back, Scott bet half his money, he got Verdi, he got it correct, which pulls him above Alpheus, who betted on Puccini, doesn't know what he's talking about, but they're both miles behind Tammy, who just doubled her money, and she looks bored. If she ever returns to Iowa, she will return a queen. Scott will go back to Plano, Texas, which is not Dallas. He will return anonymous. Trebek has the glimmer of the end of an episode in his eye. Remember to ask your local parishioner if suicide is right for you. Credits Wheel of Fortune. Y'all, medical suicide is legal in 7 states. Let's make Florida number 8! Thank you very much. Please welcome to the stage Levi and Penley.
Oh, I did hit go. I just can't hear.
Let me just go back. It's fine.
Do it. We can go back.
We'll do it again.
Fix it.
Here it goes.
I could dim the lights and sing you songs full of sad things. We could do the tango just for 2. I could serenade and gently play on your heartstrings. Be your Valentino just for you. If you know it, sing along, everybody. My name is Levi, and all my life I've had a large nose, a terrible sense of smell, and a great understanding of irony. How about this weather, huh? Hot, right? It is warm. I spent some time on my roof today, just getting some sun. So by this time tomorrow, I should be dead. I grew up in very bright, warm places, so it's something I understand. Melanoma is going to kill me. I'm aware of that. I've accepted it. I spent most of my time in Georgia. I grew up in a big family, the youngest of 4 boys. I was the honorary sister for a long time. I held that title well, so well that when Heather was born, they were like, yeah, you keep it. I grew up very. I played football for 6 years. I worked at a lumber yard at a hardware store, but do not let that fool you. I was a terrible Southerner. I did things like put sugar in my grits, and I liked black people. You know, Yankee shit. And I grew up really religious as well. My father is a Baptist pastor. 2 of my brothers followed in those footsteps, and I almost did too. I was actually an ordained minister for quite some time. And it's crazy because I wasn't a great Baptist either, as it turns out. I did things like stop believing in the Bible and officiating my gay best friend's wedding. You know, you remember how mad Baptists got when gay people asked them to make cakes for their wedding? Turns out officiating the ceremony was even worse. My bad. You know. Yeah, it's actually like against the rules. You cannot be a Baptist minister and officiate a gay wedding. You can, however, officiate a gay funeral. I don't know what it means. I didn't make up the rules. I didn't even follow the rules. That's why they revoked my ordination, and that is why I got kicked out of my father's church by my father. Oh, yeah. Thanksgiving was great. Choice conversation had. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. I'm not an idiot. No, but yeah, so God and I aren't seeing each other anymore. Religiously available. I'm not looking to jump into anything serious, though. You know, I think it's important that I spend some time alone. Completely alone in the universe. No, Christianity is and can be a beautiful religion, and I honestly believe that. I just know that the Christianity I grew up with, there were things about it that I take issue with. One of them being the way we talked about like miracles and how God heals people. It would be like, if you believe, if you have enough faith, God will heal. God might heal you of your cancer, which means that if you don't, He won't. Which is really crazy. That just means that there's this dude up in the sky who has the ability to cure all the diseases, and he's just going like, Not if you don't believe in me, then no, I'm not going to do it. It's like all these kids with leukemia, and he's like, no, if you don't think I can do it, then I'm not going to do it. Can't Chris Pratt to cure your cancer since you love him so much. It's like a firefighter who like goes all the way to the 5th floor of a burning building. They're like, don't do it! He's like, I can still save one more! And he gets up there, and there's a kid on the other side of this hole from a collapsed floor with fiery death. And he steps back, he gets ready, takes a breath, he runs to leap, and the kid's like, no, you'll never make it! And he's like, what? Fine, fuck you! If you don't think I can do it, then go to hell! I can make this jump in my sleep, see you never, bitch! And he just walks out, the kid dies. That's what it's like. One thing I do love, though, legitimately, I love Christian athletes. I'm a big fan. I think because most of the time they're like really humble, which is so cool. They do these incredible things, and then they're just like, yeah, no, that's all God. That was all God. That's not me. And I'm like, damn, that's beautiful. You know, good for you. I just, however, would like to see once a Christian athlete who's like balanced in their belief, you know? I just want to see a quarterback throw an interception and shake his fist at heaven, you know? You did this! I want a young Tim Tebow in the end zone, ripping his jersey and going, why hast thou forsaken me? Is that too much to ask? I mean, I want one post-Super Bowl interview where we get the star of the losing team and they're just like, well, we work hard, and when it comes game day, we do the best we can, and the rest is all God, and He just let us down. Just didn't show up. Listen, the Almighty Creator did some great things in the off-season, but when it came down to crunch time, He just dropped the ball. That's all I want. I'm a simple man. Oh, man, y'all. I don't know about you, but I'm having difficulty on Facebook these days. It is killing me. And it's not even the political stuff. Like, truly, that doesn't bother me. Like, I can disregard someone's opinion as well as the next guy, but it's the motivational quotes that keep popping up. Like, just waking up in the morning and first thing getting bombarded, unsolicited, with just, like, these little Hallmark tidbits of just benign motivational quotes, always set on the backdrop of some like beautiful landscape, like a waterfall, and the words, "Never apologize for being you." I'm like, great, thank you. What does that have to do with the waterfall again? And also, like, it's just, Daryl, if this is who you are actually, then I think you do owe all of us an apology for the person that you are choosing to be every day. I saw one the other day that was a butterfly, beautiful butterfly, on a rose, or a flower, not a rose, I guess, a flower. And it just said, when the caterpillar thought it had reached the end, it became a butterfly. I'm like, great, yeah, nice. When the beetle thought it had reached the end, it fucking died. And you know who else that happened to? The butterfly! It still died at some point. What does this mean? Nothing is what it means. And on that note, how's everyone enjoying the show? Well, I love doing this. Robert and I, the Cheep show is our favorite thing to do. It means so much when I have friends come. It means the world to me. It means a lot when people come and see the show who've already seen it. Like, that's the best. But I really love it when people I don't know show up to the show and like take a chance on us. It means the world. Is there anyone here tonight who I have not met before? Like, before tonight. Sean, we met briefly. Is there... Oh, 2 people in the back! What is your name, madam, in the horizontal stripes?
Christine.
Christine?
Yeah.
Ah, lovely. And are you from New York originally?
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina! You Southern Baptist! No way! I'm so sorry. How are you doing?
Great. I live in New York now. I'm great.
You're right. You're like, I'm fine. I made it here. They were like, listen, here's how things are. No, I just bought a ticket, but you'll have fun. I'll deal with you on Christmas, I guess. That's great, Christine. Welcome. You made it. Let me ask you just a quick question.
Yeah.
What was your favorite childhood cereal?
Corn Pops.
Corn Pops?
Yeah. But without milk.
Wait. Corn Pops, but without milk.
Just dry. Yeah.
And you ate them in the morning still?
Yeah.
You woke up in the morning, you poured a bowl of Corn Pops and said, I think I'm done here. You said, it's just by itself.
Yeah.
Christine, you do you, and don't ever,
I don't want to apologize.
Yeah. We're not supposed to be drinking that shit. You dodged a bullet, you know? And the gentleman in the checkers in the back, what's your name, my friend?
Alex?
Alex, nice to meet you. Are you also from North Carolina?
No, I'm from Massachusetts.
You're from Massachusetts, that's incredible. First thing I'm not going to do is assume that y'all are here on a date and give you hell about it, because fuck that, right? Like, maybe you're just friends, you know? None of my business. Alex from Massachusetts, so you came down. You went, I just recently learned that Massachusetts is above New York.
What?
Is that right?
That's new to me as well. It took a while.
Yeah.
The geography.
That had to be tough when you were trying to get to New York. You just kept finding yourself in Buffalo, and you're like, this isn't... Alex, let me ask you a question. If you were given the choice of being able to turn your hands into, like, large puppy paws, like, not the size of puppy paws, but, like, full-size puppy paws, or have the ability to shoot, like, Godzilla radiation breath out of your mouth, like, which one would you go for?
Radiation breath.
That says a lot about you, Alex. Yeah. And frankly, it says a lot about the people from Massachusetts. So, keep an eye on Alex, everybody. He chose death over puppy paws. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Alex. I totally would go with the Godzilla breath, too. That would be dope as hell. All right, thank you so much for coming to the show. It's been a pleasure. That's not the end of the show. That's just the end of our conversation. So I recently realized, I always knew that I was an anxious person. I recently realized I'm also an insecure person. I was talking to my best friend, and I'm like, yeah, I just like pretty insecure, I think. And he's like, dude, that's tough, especially being in a relationship. Insecurity is a burden on relationships, and it eats away at them like a poison until nothing that you once loved about it remains. And I said, yeah. And but it's true. I was going through a pretty rough patch in my relationship for a while. And my anxiety was like, you're gonna break up. And I was like, no, listen, we're just working through some stuff. And then we broke up. So my anxiety was like, told you! Everything I say is true now. It will never satisfy a woman sexually, and the mole on your back is cancerous. Good night. Sleep well. When you feel alone, remember it's because you are. No one stands beside you to gaze into the void. You don't get to know what happens after you die, and you will never be able to repay your mother for everything she did for you. Sleep tight. I'll be here in the morning. BFF. No, but it's true, and relationships are tough. I just don't have a great track record with relationships. I feel like every time, me trying to be in a relationship is a lot like me trying to be on a bomb squad, like where I'm defusing bombs, but I don't have any bomb defusing experience, so it's really exciting, and I'm enjoying myself, but I feel morally obligated occasionally to remind the other person, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, I probably shouldn't be doing this, and I'm worried about what might happen, and they're like, you just need to relax, you're in your head too much, just have fun, and then I blow us both to hell. So we're in pieces, and I feel guilty because I'm the one who created the bomb in the first place. I didn't mention that. It's not a perfect analogy. Anyway, I've been single for a while now. Oh man. And like any single person who recognizes the fact that they're insecure and anxious, I've been on Tinder the whole time. Anybody, how do you feel about Tinder? We all hate it, right? No one likes Tinder. Not even the people on Tinder. Every girl's bio I read is like, San Diego, plane emoji, NYC, I hate this app. Let's do brunch. And I was talking to my friend about his Tinder troubles the other day, and he was like, yeah, man, I was talking to this girl for a while on Tinder, and then she just ghosted me. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we were messaging back and forth, and she just stopped responding out of nowhere. She ghosted me. It's like, she didn't ghost you, because you can't ghost someone on Tinder. Let's be clear about that. Stopping talking to someone at any point on Tinder is not ghosting. All right? Okay, let me explain. When in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, when Lucy left Mr. Tumnus and left him in Narnia, she did not ghost him. She went back to the real world. And she left him in a fantasy world. Which is what Tinder is. It is a fantasy world where it is always winter and never Christmas. Everyone just keeps swiping right, hoping they'll find their King Peter, but they just keep getting Edmund. Fucking Edmund. Do we all remember Edmund? Who's familiar with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Edmund is the younger brother who lies about Narnia being real to make his little sister Lucy look like an asshole for no reason. Then he goes to Narnia, betrays his family, and almost gets them killed by joining an allegiance with the evil Ice Queen because he loves European candy. He's the fucking worst. And I can't help but imagine what Edmund's Tinder profile would look like. I feel like it would be, obviously, shirtless selfie, Edmund, 22, London, wardrobe emoji, Narnia, plane emoji, NYC. Hi, just a down-to-earth guy looking to meet some new people, hang out, and eventually betray them to fulfill my own selfish desires that will eventually lead to the entrapment of 1,000 pure-hearted woodland creatures and the death of Aslan. Don't be shy, winky face. And then it's just 1,000 Instagram photos of Turkish delight. And one mountainscape with the words, if you don't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. All right, y'all, thanks so much. Please welcome back to the stage my good buddy, Robert Price!
Dining at the Ritz, we'll meet at 9 precisely. I'll pay the bill, you drink the wine. Driving back in style in my saloon will do quite nicely. Take me back to yours, that will be fine. Come on and get it. Thank you. That's a song you'll hear a little bit more of later. Now, I think everyone here is super cool, and you all loved Levi for exactly who he was. So I'm hoping. I've written some poetry, and I wanted to share it with you. It's like 4 or 5 poems. Just, respond vocally if you enjoy it, Let me know. Person opening gum. You're never going to get it open. Try as you may to get your fingernails under the overlapping plastic for a grip to strike it apart. That's just the outer layer. There are 16 more. You may as well give up. Does your interest in this product surpass the opposing force of Mylar packaging? Nay, sir. Do you crave with the passion necessary to reach your goal? Do you even yearn? Nay, madam. It will take all you have within you. You must empty yourself of all that you carry. Free your mind and jaw. But why strive for a trifle? Why sweat for a breath refresher? Relax your grip and rest in failure, son of Adam. This is but a mint gum. It brings no relief, only staves off hunger. Who would labor, daughter of Eve, for the privilege to gulp down teaspoons of saliva, never satiating hunger or thirst, only forming gurgling belches that taste of curdled milk? This is no hubba bubba. Let me find my place again. This is no hubba bubba. Would that it were so simple. That dry paper with a metallic flip side. That magnificent tearing that feeds your grubby fingers. Watermelon on the inside. Green watermelon on the outside. Hubba bubba bags. Person purchasing a compact disc. Your fortune is a bleak one. A journey wrought with disappointments. There will be no final judgment to justify your moral high ground. CD rappers are not fair, but they are true. You bought Malcolm Jamal Warner's miles-long mixtape because you wanted to listen to it, not work yourself into a sweat before getting a glass of water and resolving to try again in a few minutes. Turn back! My warning echoes in the caverns of a wounded ego. Fate has chosen this weak vessel to destroy. The role I play is to break wisdom on deaf ears. What good is that brilliant smile? What good, Malcolm Jamal Warner? Those dreads cascading down ebony pecs if the CD case remained closed. What good is a CD opener invented 2 years after they became obsolete? 15 layers left. They are all that separate you from music. How long till the hubba bubba be delivered? How long till the rhythm and blues return? And how long till I open my heart? 14 layers left. Thank you. This one's a haiku. Made in God's image. And everyone makes mistakes. Are we a mistake? Oh, yes. There's something I don't. If you're on TV, you need to have sex appeal. The law of averages, as I do not understand it, states that someone in the world found Oprah to be the sexiest being that walks the earth. In fact, I believe, if I am misinterpreting this correctly, that most people want very badly to be plowed by the queen of daytime happy cry. Imagine her. And this one's for Mother's Day. It's gonna be okay. I think part of the reason there isn't much history about women being the innovators of their time, held up for their ingenuity, is that women were doing everything the man wasn't to keep his family afloat. Doing it with a smile on her face so her kids wouldn't grow up broken. That's where the women were. And who could argue for a second that they were not innovative? Guess who invented the ham and cheese sandwich? The application of cocoa butter. Weaving bamboo into kitschy little mats for your table setting. Other hits include feeling the forehead with the cold side of the hand. Rocking while holding you. Holding metal to fire and then pressing it to cloth. to remove wrinkles. You don't imagine that was instinctive, do you? That was moms. That's what they were up to. Learning the history of furniture, of fashion, of folk art, the innovation of women who carried society on their backs. It wasn't public television that made the next generation more open-minded and more successful. It was a person making the decision over and over again to work hard, to emotionally invest, to take the hits and the shame and the loss and sleep and the sacrifice of personal fulfillment. Moms, every day. Some days, maybe they don't want to be a mom, they don't feel good, and maybe they don't do the best job. Was she gone the next day? Did you run away? No, she stayed, and you stayed because she's your mother, and you're her child. But they can honestly say they did it better than their mother, because you can't help but learn something, even if it seems like you learned a lot of things too late. Dad! Thank you. I'm going to bring up a friend of mine named Levi Penley. You got it!
Ooh, let me feel your heartbeat. Ooh, come and feel my love heat. Come and sit on my hot seat of love. Tell me, how do you feel right after all? I'd like for you and I to go romancing. Say the word, your wish is my command. Now you've decided what I'm gonna do here. It's between one of two things. Somebody say either one or two.
Two.
All right. I do not have a foot fetish. I do not have a I'm not sexually attracted to feet and only feet. I don't know how to make this more clear to you, okay? I'm not... In fact, quite the opposite is true. Feet disgust me. Like, bare feet, no way, you know? Dirty feet, like, large but feminine, ethnically ambiguous feet stomping grapes so that the juices just come, like, between the crevices of the toes and seep back and up and back. Ugh. Not my thing, all right? And gentlemen, that is exactly how convincing we sound when we tell women time and time again that we are feminists. We're like, nice to meet you, female. I noticed you're a female. I like females. I am a feminist. I just find it necessary to tell you. The fact is, if you want a girl to know you're a feminist, you don't have to say it. Like, if you find yourself being like, hey, I'm not a creep, I'm a feminist, it's too late. The damage has been done.
Yeah.
In fact, what you're supposed to do is just not be creepy and support human rights. Like, that's essentially what needs to be done. Also, I do feel it is important to say that the bit at the beginning, the foot fetish bit, obviously was a setup for the feminist thing. So I was playing the part of being like, I don't have a foot fetish, but like clearly I do. But that was no. What I'm trying to say, that was the joke for the sake of like I don't have a foot fetish. And there's nothing wrong with people who do. Like if you have a foot fetish, great. Like do that thing. It's just not me, and I'm not weirded out by feet. I'm just not. I don't look up videos of feet online, like to watch them. Like I have stumbled upon a video in which feet were suddenly playing a larger role in the and I watched the whole video, but honestly, I didn't seek that out, is the point. And when I did return to see the video, it was more about the other things that were happening and the overall quality of the video itself. Sorry, I'm a kinky guy in other ways. It's just not. Any kinky people out there in the audience? Any freaky people? Show of feet. Hands. Wait, do I stay up there?
You gotta introduce the next act.
Up next. There's two lovely guys, real dreamboats. Robert Price and Levi Penley.
No, introduce the other.
Oh wait, I thought we were doing mistake.
Oh no, you're right. Let's do that first.
That's what I thought. All right. So what we're about to do now is nothing involving feet. Like, don't worry. It's something a little risky that we love doing very much, and it is a freestyle rap. All we need to get started doing this is something that something that you would love to hear us rap about that you've never heard anybody rap about before.
Ecuador.
You say Ecuador?
I vote for that.
Ecuador, it is. Ecuador, it is.
Do you want to go first?
I'd love to. Yeah. All of my intelligence is spent because the whole crowd's realizing I'm ignorant. I'm not sure where Ecuador is. Central America, maybe, kids? Let's take a look at the map. Let's educate ourselves. It's the information age. It's all up on the shelf. You don't have to pull an encyclopedia down, open it up, and look for the word after clown, then the word after dog, then the word begins with E. It's Ecuador. Now I am teaching me. I'm the professor and the student simultaneously. Isn't that beautiful? Erroneously is a word that rhymes. Simultaneously. Listen, I'm just dropping some knowledge.
I'm just a student, but I think I know that it's erroneously is what you're trying to show to these people. Let's get on beat, and then we'll get back to those freaky feet. Can I look at this map? It's so pretty. It's got an equator down the center, not shitty. It's well drawn with a ruler, I suppose, but every map makes clothing. When you tailor something, it's not the size. Every piece of landmass is a different. It's not accurately. Ecuador's all right. If you need more knowledge, then I'll tell you later. But as a student, it's not my job to educate you, you technical school slob. You don't deserve a classroom of your own. You should just get on home with your iPhone. I see you checking while I'm taking my test. I see you checking and I'm depressed. But I see you checking out of the class you teach. I mean, what am I supposed to reach for? I got no goals cause you're so apathetic. I think I'll just end up similarly pathetic. Here we go. What's your response? I need my calculated counselor gone.
Oh, you think you're so damn cool because you actually got to go to a public school. You learn things like geography while little old me was learning about big old JC. I went to Sunday school and I was homeschooled too. I didn't get out much, didn't pick up on social cues. I was weird for a while is what I'm saying, but I figured it out like Goku going Super Saiyan. That's right. I picked it up. I was paying attention to everything everybody did. And I wrote it down with the notebook and my little notebook pen. And I said, ooh, don't say that thing again. People get weird. I took notes and I learned can't grow a beard. Unrelated. Bad social cues. I'm sorry, I bring things up that are, have you seen the news? There was like a dude with a car. Not important. Anyway,
You see the shoes that are important, they're more important than anything you said. While you were talking, something else going through my head is just a beat I made on Fruity Loops. Cause I show it to my fruity groups. Everybody's so sassy, we love RuPaul. You can be straight and make fun of people too. Paul in class, he's a little bit feminine, but so am I. And I can bring him down in a pinch. I got an insult. I can bring him down and he exalts the excellence that I bring to my words. That's how I dominate people in the third grade.
oh. Swag money. All right. So up next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring someone. You thought you've seen people be funny.
Yeah.
Just you wait, because you're about to see somebody get. You want to get the computer ready?
Sure.
You're about to see somebody who taught the funny people how to be funny. All right. Someone who needs no introduction, but I'm giving her one because we have music, and I wanted Robert to get back to the music. It's Eleni Pappas.
Why, thank you. No, that's too high. Let's bring it down. Hello. Hi. How is everybody going tonight? Woo! Get this on out of here. I am Eleni Pappas. I am Greek and Irish. This is the hybrid that you are seeing. I definitely have a really big nose. It's a Carolus nose, not the Pappas nose, just so you guys know. And the curly big hair, we don't know where that came from. But yeah, I grew up in Florida. Woo! We call it the sweaty ass crack of the United States. Yes. Good to know. But actually, I did my informative years in San Francisco, California, so I consider myself a liberal Californian, actually, thank you. Go San Francisco, California rules. But yeah, I got out of there pretty quick. I've only been in New York for 9 months. I'm a New York baby, which is enough to digest this beautiful bagel that I've been getting. It's really nice. But yeah, so just tell you a little bit about me, because I feel like as a new little comedian in New York City, you should get to know me a little bit. I'm really shy. I tend to get really nervous and quiet in front of groups of people, and I'm just gonna go now. How do we get out of here? Okay, no, I'm just kidding. But when you're a little kid and everyone asks you, what do you want to do when you get older? What do you want to be? Sarah was like, I'm going to be an event planner. Who the fuck are you, Sarah? Like, you're 5 years old and you want to be, okay, cool. She had the best parties, obviously. Another friend was like, I want to be a bunny farmer. And you're like, wow, that's really cool. What do you want to be when you grow up? Stardust! Just shoot me out to the sky! And my teacher was worried. So we had to have a little talk. But don't worry, I'm fine now. I realized that as growing older, I knew what I wanted to do, and I just really wanted to make people happy. I just wanted to make them laugh. I wanted to bring the whole community of humanity together and just love and have a happiness all over the place. And then I grew up and realized that humanity sucks. I'm all alone. And so yeah, I'll just inevitably tell you that my whole mission in life now is I have a slogan: shit to say to excite people. This is my movement, guys, and you can join me. I encourage it. I will give you a few examples as to what you can do to really just kind of fuck with people on every day. Don't make them uncomfortable. Let me do that because I look like a safe woman. So, but don't get too excited. But the easiest ones are going to a coffee shop, right? And you go into the coffee shop, and I always get one of those really fruity drinks. Not fruity, but like sugary drinks, and they ask me, oh, do you want some whipped cream on top? Wow, Taylor, that's a really big decision. Whipped cream on top? Yeah, whipped cream on top. Does it have to be on top, though? Can you just give it to me? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, can you just give me the whipped cream? Just like squirt it in my mouth. I don't know you. Okay, can I get the whipped cream on the side? She's like, you want a cup of whipped cream? Yeah, the whipped cup. You know what? Save the cup. Just put it in my hand. And the best is sometimes she'll do it because the customer's always right. And the best is just, here's great, Jim. I'll see you later, baby. And she just has to tell someone that story later in the day. Like, that is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Or, you know those stupid insert chips? Like, you're paying for stuff now and you have to insert a chip into a stupid machine. I remember when you could slide it. Why can't we just go back to sliding? Or what happened to Apple Pay when we could just, like, swipe our phone like magic? Ooh. No, we have to insert a chip now. And there's this horrific noise that happens when you don't take out your card, like, fast enough. You know what I mean? Or, like, beep, beep, beep. Just leave it in there for a couple of minutes and just stare them dead in the eyes and be like, what are you going to do? The bomb is about to explode. Do we take it out? The pull-out method is effective. And they just end up being speechless. You just take the card out and you run, basically. So those little things. My personal favorite, this isn't going to work for everybody, and this is a little tidbit that I really like to do. So you know how people have different size limbs, or like women specifically, we have 2 different size breasts sometimes. Not every woman, you know, but sometimes you have a different size breast. Men's balls. I usually, when I get in a relationship with a man, I like to like measure out those balls. Really, like, ooh, which one's heavier, bigger size? That one's my favorite. We'll call him Hairy Terry. and I never change it. So there's like a bunch of men out there with a hairy terry. You just, you don't know. But, so me, my boobs are perfect. You'll see. Oh. You want to buy me a drink? Is that my drink?
No, it didn't smell.
That's good. But actually, my feet are different sizes. Levi, don't get excited. So my left foot is actually a size 9, and my right foot is a 9.5, which makes it a bitch to buy shoes. I go to the store, if I get the size, it's just 9. My right foot's like, my toe isn't hanging, the baby toe, cut it off. And I don't even have a nail on that toe anymore. It's like, what is the point of the baby toe, right? Like, what is the point of it? And if I go up to a 9.5, then my little left foot's just like swimming in this really big shoe. I feel like I'm walking around like a clown, and I already do. So this doesn't help anything. So what I really like to do, and this almost never works. It did at Target once, but I love going into a shoe store and picking out a 9 and a 9.5. I go up to the clerk, and they're always so caring. They're like,
"Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Oh, you actually have 2 different shoes in this box here."
yeah, actually, I do that on purpose because I have 2 different size feet, and if I don't do this, they're going to be really uncomfortable one way or the other, so it just works better for me if I get 2 different size shoes.
I don't think that's gonna work for the company, ma'am.
Yeah, I understand it's going to put you in a weird position, but like I really have 2 different size feet, so it's going to be so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, but then we're gonna have another pair of shoes that are 2 different sizes, and who's gonna buy those?
They would be my soulmate! Okay, I'm gonna go now. Just kidding. That only works on my soulmate. He or she is out there somewhere, and I know I find them. With 2 different size feet as me, and we can share all the shoes, and it'll be exciting. But as of right now, I'm seriously wearing size 9 shoes, and my right foot is just like dying inside. So let's all pray to the gods that my feet will be okay. But yeah, so take that as you will. Go out there, please be apostles for this new movement. Shit you can say to excite people's lives. Just try it. Throw bubbles in someone's face on the subway. Did that once. She was not excited at all. She looked at me like I was crazy, and I'm like, I'm from Burning Man! But yeah, just little things here and there. Even just when you walk up to someone and you're like, hey, can I sit next to you on the subway? They look at you like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Yeah, you can sit your ass down. I don't give a fuck. I had that happen to me once, and I was like, I'm gonna go sit over there, okay? Anyways, how's everyone doing?
Great. Good.
It feels really weird not having a drink up here. I am an alcoholic.
Do you want my drink? It's a 21st Amendment.
Really? High watermelon?
Yeah.
I'm okay.
But actually, friends are really important. I have some friends that came here tonight. I'm really excited about it. Hey guys, I love you. Friends have actually helped me a lot when I moved here to New York City, and I really appreciate that about it. A specific friend has been really trying to push me to kind of step out of my comfort zone, which is funny because I don't really have any kind of comfort zone. I'm just like out there. But there are some things that are a little bit, pet peeves, things, and I try to treat everyone respectfully in humanity, but there's just some things where I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? One would be, and a friend of mine, I will keep her nameless. Let's call her Wheezy. She has decided to cure me of my issue of having people blow their nose in front of my face. I have a really big problem with this, especially when you go out to like dinner, breakfast, at the bar, anything. If you're blowing snot in my face, I kind of get grossed out. It like really freaks me out. It's like, germs, no! So Wheezy has made it her mission in life to store up the snot in her nose until she sees me next. And as soon as we sit down at the bar, we get our drinks, everything's exciting, and I'm like, how you doing? She pulls out a tissue like it just came out of her ass and goes, and like just wants to show me, and I'm like, it's okay. I'm gonna be alright. Like, it's gonna be alright. And it's like immersion therapy, you know, we're getting into it. She's done it now so many times though that I'm starting to have nightmares in my sleep where I'm this marionette and this like snot puppet master's like, ha, run but you can't hide. I'm like, no, I can stop. So we've been working on that and I'm never going to be cured, obviously, because I'm really having problems. And yeah, it's just nasty. Another thing I really can't stand actually is, oh my God. People who can't tell a good story and just keep on going on and on and on. Ironic. Here we go. But no, you know what I mean? They have this like word vomit. You're talking with them for so long, and it's like that rainbow vomit in Snapchat, that really cute filter, and it's like, ah, but it's not cute. And you just want them to complete the story and to have some really good clarity, but you just run into those people. It's like, well, let me tell you about this one time. Oh, yeah. It was like 8 years ago. 8 years ago, yeah. Now, it was, wait, was it 8? It was the year that my horse got a urinary tract infection. Yeah, 8 years ago. 8 years ago. It was my sister's daughter's wedding. That's my niece. Yeah, 8 years ago. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and so we were all, was it 8 or 9? 8 or 9 years? It was 9 because that was the year when she got her tract infection. I had a really good asparagus harvest. Yeah, I did. So we were going to her wedding and it was beautiful. She had kegs everywhere. She had a whole bunch of wine. It was beautiful. Beautiful. My two brothers were there, my 9 sisters. It was a party and we were drunk. We were so drunk. I was wearing my really pretty tangerine dress. I remember because everybody was walking around talking to me like, hey Clementine. I'm like, I'm not Clementine, I'm Betsy. Betsy, please. So we were walking around and all of a sudden my beautiful, was it 9 years or was it? I think it was 10 years because Andrew had just come back from France because he wanted to be a sommelier. Smellinazer? Smellinazer. It's a smellinazer because he smells that damn wine. I'm telling you, smellinazer. And he brought this real nice bottle back for that stupid ass wedding. And he was like, you know what? We need to have a new bottle for this, something special, a big glass corral to really let it aerate. I don't know what that means. I don't know. But like, where are we going to find something like that? We are in Tallahassee, the panhandle of Florida. Capital of Florida, by the way. Everyone thinks it's Miami, but they just got really good Cuban food. 10 years. Yeah, that seems about right. No, maybe 11? Has it been 11 years, Posey? Has it been 11 years? It might have been 11 years, my bad. Anyway, so he tells us we need to get this new carafe. I don't know what's going on. And then my sister, the brilliant one that she is, comes out with those coffee pots. You know what I mean? The glass ones that you put in the coffee maker. It's got those measurements on it. Oh, she's so smart. And we pour the wine in that. And would you know it? I walked around like a goddamn waitress saying, anybody want some coffee? I'm busy. Coffee, anybody? Coffee. Oh, it was great. I think it was 10 years ago. 10 years. Pat Boozy. 10 years. Coffee. Coffee. And this whole time I'm staring at her and I'm just like, okay. Let's keep going. And I'm figuring out a way to segue out of this conversation, like, please, can we get through this alive? And all I want to do is, in my head, go, you shut up, you fucking bitch! I hate you, Betsy! I fucking hate you, Betsy! But it's all good. We're okay. Funny story, though, that is a true story. That is my aunt's big family, Irish and Greek. And she really did walk around filling up people's cups of coffee, and it was wine, but people didn't know because they were so old and they didn't realize it, so they started putting cream and sugar in the wine. And everyone started puking. And that's a real old-fashioned Florida party. Old people puking everywhere. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah! Oh! Let's hear it one more time for Eleni Pappas! Lover boy, what you doing tonight? Hey boy, write my letter, feel much better.
fancy patter on the telephone.
All right, all we need for you for this next part is just one word. It can be any word at all. Actually, let's make it a word with 2 syllables. We're gonna do a little improv for you, just as a warning.
Yeah.
What was it? Carafe? Like a wine carafe? Is there a T in that word?
Carafe.
Would you like specials today? We're serving brunch.
Carafe?
We're serving brunch. We have
Well, what are the specials?
we have a big fish that's covered in caramelized onions. We have a
Wait, the onions are just caramelized?
yeah, it's a caramelized onion over a big old fish.
Oh, what do you mean by caramelized?
Well, we take the onions, dip them in I've been trying to break this habit.
Wait, so it's
Caramel.
Okay.
We dip them in caramel. That's correct. And we just throw them on a big old fish.
Can I get those onions on the side?
Can you? Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm allergic to onions.
Oh,
So just don't bring them at all.
just a big old fish.
So it's just the fish? Is there any other assortment? I'm allergic to onions, so there's not onions anywhere else?
No, it's just a big old fish.
Are there onions in fish?
Not usually. Fish don't eat onions. I don't know why I'm explaining this to a person.
I don't like fish. Am I gonna like this fish?
Well, you're not gonna like any of the specials. You're just gonna have a normal meal then.
Are all the specials fish?
Most of them are fish.
Well, tell me about the one that isn't fish.
Squirrel.
I don't like squirrel.
Hey, Victoria. I really liked your performance tonight. Do you mind if I just move closer to you?
No. I mean, no. How much closer? That's good. I'll let you know. Right here's good. That's good still. All right. Still good. Is that where you're gonna?
I'm gonna smoke a cigarette while we talk.
Well, then maybe. Sorry. That's good.
Oh,
That's fine.
All right, great. You have hair. You're a woman. I'm a feminist.
Good to know. That assuages a lot of fears.
Assuages. You want a cigarette, don't you? You trying to quit? I'm a bad boy.
I've never smoked, so no, thank you though.
You never. Maybe tonight's the night. I have powers of persuasion.
Okay.
Because I definitely have powers of assuasion.
I see what you've done. I'm gonna the trains have been
You
weird.
need to leave. I can tell by your body language.
Yeah.
I can read people.
Great.
I play the guitar.
Okay. I'll just head off this way. This is the way I'm. Actually, which way are you going?
I have a tragic backstory.
Okay.
Both of these are fake knees. The trampoline accident.
That's tough. I'm gonna
That's a great dress. It's great.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I broke it. I do know how to tell you this.
That's not okay, Jake. You can't come to someone's house and just break something.
Bobby, that stands for bad. Hey! Ow! Sorry. Oh my gosh.
It's a sunburn.
Oh, rubbing it doesn't help then.
No. Unless you have some calamine lotion.
I don't, but a Palamine has some calamine.
Whoa!
Hey, Germantine, get over it! Yeah, I broke it over his head. He's unconscious.
Wait, the vase?
Yeah, I broke the vase over Germantine's head. He's unconscious. We could root through his stuff and find his calamine.
Jake, you are the worst person to have at a party.
What? No, I'm the best person to have at a party. Jake the Snake.
No.
Jake the Snake was a quarterback. You watch football? Sunburn. I'm sorry.
Jake the Snake was a wrestler.
Oh,
You want a pro wrestler?
Gonna call shenanigans on that. Jake the Snake may have been a wrestler, but he was also a quarterback. Jake Plummer.
You brought a single bottle of water to my party.
Oh, is that still around?
No!
That blows, man. That really blows, man. Hey, great party. Shit! Ow. That's, hey, ooh, German time.
Not many of us get to experience what it's like to grow up in a public school. Your resources are limited. Your textbooks outdated. And sometimes you learn the wrong things. That's why I homeschool my boys.
Sometimes, sorry. I'm wearing sweatpants under my jeans.
It's quite cold out. We don't have a lot of winter clothes. My boy can do flips. My boy can write in cursive.
Bunch of flips, sorry. I'm wearing a sweatshirt under my shirt.
He can do 16 push-ups.
Count.
It's not time right now.
Sorry.
This is to all the
Genesis, exit, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, Esther, James, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther.
Maybe he's taken the cheerleader to prom. To do who knows what.
I don't know what.
I have not told him what.
Smoke?
Yeah, I do.
It's a disgusting habit.
Oh, I see what you did there. Now you're smoking. That's a good trick. I steal that when I'm trying to pull down one of my lady friends.
Oh, you're a ladies' man.
You look very smooth. You look like you have it all figured out.
Picked up a few people in my time. Picking up ladies, is that your game?
I'm learning it.
What's your name, friend?
Ethan.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Mind if I call you E?
Yeah, both my knees are fake.
In the honest, Ethan, I don't care about your knees. I care about something a little bit above your knees.
That was really good.
Really good. Stick with me, kid. You'll learn a few things. More than a few things. Learn a couple things about yourself, maybe.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, Ethan. You ever found yourself on a summer's night, a little too warm, sticky, remove your shirt because you think you're alone? Me too. You got a lot of comedy. What brand do you smoke?
Parliament Lights.
Alright.
There's nothing wrong with that brand.
Nothing right with that brand either.
Wait, what do you smoke? You're so cool.
Coolness is something you can learn, Ethan. It's not something you're born with. You need a ride home? I drive a truck. It's large inside.
There's things I don't understand happening, but I want to follow this.
You'll figure it out.
Thanks for coming to the Cheep Show.
Find our website. It's thecheepshow.com with 2 E's. You can get to our Facebook from there, our Twitter, our YouTube, and it's important that you do because the first rule of the Cheep Show is you talk about the Cheep Show.
And the second rule of the Cheep Show is
You talk about the Cheep Show!
Thank you so much, Tina Fey, for being here.
Thank you, Tina.
Good job. She's working on getting better.
Yeah, she's got about.
And before you go, always remember that,
Parliament is not a trustable brand. It's
yeah, you shouldn't be smoking Parliament Lights. Also, Ecuador is on the equator. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.